Hey folks, and welcome back to another episode of We're back to Case 4 in TGS 2! Oh my god, my intros. Oh, I should change them up somehow, but I don't know how at this point in time. Alright, so Baroque had his talk, Sogi got super aggressive about it, and now Sogi had brought out the three witnesses who apparently saw Baroque do the thing, okay? So now we're gonna get our introductions with them. Oh!
We don't got no fancy names.
We're just a group of free spirits who make their living by selling wondrous wares. I gaze in blank amazement at those who traverse Fresno Street and scribble down a piece of poetry. Therefore I am.
Isn't that Beppo?
You mean you're all peddlers?
Folks call me Gossip. I sell amusing topics to gentlemen I meet along the street.
Amusing topics?
No, I just happen to have here the perfect topic for you. Sixpence. Can't go more than a farthing lower than that.
Huh? Huh? Are you trying to sell it to me?
What's that greedy-looking face you're making, you bastard?
Go on, buy it.
Let's buy it. Buy it?
What? Alright already, I'll buy it. What? What?
That's a lad. Now, listen up. A young wife on Slyhard Street gave birth to twins.
Is that it?
Yep. How it grows and spreads now depends on your own skill level.
Oh my god.
All my interesting topics are 6p apiece. Hope to see you again soon.
What I'm most interested in is how your lip got to be such a crazy shape. And what the deal is with that bruise I can see peeking out around your neck. Oh, what?
Now then, next witness. Tell us what you're called and what you sell.
I like how he had to add what they sell.
Everyone calls me Venus. It's quite troublesome. Recently, I've been doing a little fireworks sales to the neighborhood prep school students. 6p for a string. Can I tempt you?
Wait! That sound they make! You sell those little fireworks?
They sell like hotcakes to the local second years, you know? All I have to do is tell them after they buy 100 of them, they can blow their school to kingdom come. We can't have that. Anyway, the 6p. Can I tempt you?
Huh? You mean you want me to buy them?
Oh, I know. I'll throw in a little extra tidbit of knowledge for you. If you buy 100 of these, you can blow the Supreme Court to kingdom come.
Buy them and see.
Let's buy them.
Buy them?
Do they want to blow up the Supreme Court? I mean, I can kind of understand Asogi, but guys! Alright already, I'll buy them. Also, Naruhodō, you can say no! Don't listen to them! Don't fall under peer pressure!
Alright, in that case, here, I've got something special just for you. Here is the Venus Special. Just 600p.
600? 600p?
It's my normal string of fireworks times 100. Not so little anymore, are they?
And everyone's just fine with the Supreme Court being blown to bits? Venus's fireworks. The Venus Special. 100 of her usual 6p string of fireworks. wonder what kind of noise they make. I wonder indeed.
Now then, next witness. The name you're called by and what you sell. Please.
Don't tell Naruhodō to buy whatever he's selling!
I'm just a man who thinks along the roadside, I think. Therefore I am. And I'm human. I, who spend my days pondering such things and questioning the world's facts, am known as the Observer.
By the way, we call him Sandwich.
Sandwich?
So, what is it that you sell, old man?
I simply provide information to those who cross my path and give them somewhere to go. I don't actually sell any wares.
How unfortunate.
You think I'd let you talk me into buying any more weird junk?
Yes.
I feel like you still will.
In any case, this is quite a lot of witnesses, isn't it?
They were out on Fresno Street from morning till night, selling their goods. And they all operate in the same place, right outside the apartment building housing the crime scene.
I see. So that's why they all heard the gunshot?
And they rushed bravely to the crime scene and witnessed the murder.
Yep, sure did.
Oh, what would become of me after witnessing such a terrible scene? What I saw was no more than a trick of shadows and light. Therefore I am. Very well. Now then, the court will hear your testimony. Tell us all what you saw at the time of the murder, and all that you heard.
All that you saw or all what you saw? Anyway, what we witnessed.
We saw the whole thing, including the bit where the two of them entered the apartment building.
The Grim Reaper entered the building, and not a minute later, we heard a bang! Those with loose lips are oh so light on their feet. A gossip lover rushed to the crime scene.
Inside the room were the Grim Reaper, a pistol dangling from his hand, and the body lying there.
Silly me, I got so scared and ran to call a beat officer.
You saw the whole thing. In that case, the two you saw go into the apartment building were...
The victim, Detective Gregson, and the defendant, Baroque Van Zeeks.
I recognised the Grim Reaper from the sketches in the newspaper, so I knew it was him. This topic has been selling like mad. Old gossip ears are coins raining down on him.
But it's an apartment building. That means it's possible that one of the other tenants could have committed the...
The apartment building on Fresno Street is full of mainly vacant rooms.
After all, it's in bad shape. The rooms are small and dirty, and the rent's pretty high considering.
The only room in the apartment building with a tenant is the room of the crime scene.
As I recall, the tenant's name was Hugh Boone. True. As far as I can tell from this testimony, it seems to be sufficiently proven. Which means that it's incredibly difficult to imagine that the murder was committed by anyone but the defendant.
Thank you for your understanding.
Oh my god. This is a rough uphill battle.
Now then, defense, your cross-examination.
Yes, Your Honor. The judge is solely responsible for the verdict in a top-secret trial like this. I have to find some way to break down this testimony. Yeah, but... God, it's just so much to go through. When you say the two of them... Do you mean Detective Gregson and Lord Van Zeeks?
Probably. I can't say I know him by name. At the very least, the one who entered last was that Grim Reaper chap.
Did they enter the apartment building together?
No, you got it all wrong. The bloke who went in first got there about 15 minutes before we heard the gunshot, I reckon.
The victim arrived 15 minutes before. You're sure of that?
Sure I am. After all. Who could forget the eye-catching bright red hair of his? Ain't that right, everyone?
That's true. His hair was redder than my fireworks. The blazing red hair of his is still seared into the undersides of my eyelids.
Just a moment, please. Red hair?
That's right. And I think he was carrying a big trunk.
There's no way anyone could ever mistake Gregson-sama's hair for being red.
Perhaps the person you saw was not Detective Gregson, but a third person.
Unfortunately for you, that red-headed man was Detective Gregson.
Huh?
I have here a photo of the victim taken at the crime scene.
This is Detective Gregson.
This red hair. Perhaps it's a wig? Come to think of it, there was a red-haired wig lying at the crime scene.
I would never have imagined that Detective Gregson was the one who worn it. What on earth could this mean?
Now that I look at it, perhaps red hair wasn't a bad look for him. In any case, the court accepts that photo into evidence.
Crime scene photo. A photo of Detective Gregson, the victim. He's curled up on his side, wearing a bright red wig. Incidentally, what happened to the trunk the red-haired victim was said to have been carrying?
Apparently it wasn't found at the crime scene.
So the trunk vanished.
Well, it's not like we was watching the apartment building the whole time.
But I saw the Grim Reaper sneak into that building.
So then the first one to arrive at the scene of the crime was you?
That's right. I gallantly kicked open the door and shouted, "What's all this?" Or something, so yeah.
According to Van Zeek-sama, he heard a man scream.
By the way, was the room dark at the time?
Not at all. The candle holder on the wall was blazing like mad.
Huh?
It was enough light to reveal the man lying on the floor, that's for sure. When I burst into the room, that was the first thing my eyes were drawn to.
I see. I wonder why Lord Van Zeeks didn't see that light.
And then, the next thing I knew, I could sense someone standing next to the body.
And that was the defendant, Baroque Van Zeeks.
That's right! It was that pallid-faced Grim Reaper. Well, I guess it startled me a little, but I'm a man, see? So I held my ground and glared right at that Grim Reaper.
What's up, Sandwich? Hold, is everything alright, Sandwich-san? Sandwich-san.
My head is empty, and so, therefore, my head is empty. What can one do for such folks?
Did you recall something just now? While listening to Gossip-san's testimony just now, I mean.
Just how foolish and insignificant a being is man. No matter how we try to gussy ourselves up, we're still naught but simple peddlers.
That's enough, Sandwich. Just keep your gob shut, yeah? Unless you want to become an actual sandwich.
The moment he laid eyes on the Grim Reaper, he was falling all over himself with fear. Falling all over himself?
Shut up! I told you not to tell anyone that!
Ooh, he gave a piercing shriek and fell on his hands and knees. That's all I wanted to say. Gossip-san, is that true?
Well, the floor was awfully slippery there, I'll have you know. Then I accidentally put my hand in a puddle of blood. It was bloody awful.
A puddle of blood?
Yeah, well, until the very last moment when I landed on the floor. I kept on glaring at the Grim Reaper. That's all I wanted to say.
Just a moment, please. You got blood on your hand?
Sure did. I reckon everyone has days like that once in a while, right? Where you get scared and scrape your hand on the floor. But it ain't worth getting worked up over.
Gossip-san, would you mind adding that statement to your testimony?
Huh? Sure, but...
In that case, witness, add that statement to your testimony.
I slipped and got blood on my hand. Then I accidentally smeared it on the floor.
Alright, we're gonna have to be presenting something in this statement, but we have to check on something first. There are indeed case records from many different years hung up here. The paper this 10-year-old investigation report was written on has gone yellow. By the way, the most recent item on this board is this newspaper ad. The ad for the Red-Headed League. Holmes-san read this too, didn't he? Come to think of it, there was a red wig lying on the floor at the crime scene. I wonder if he tried to join the Red-Headed League. Or at least join to investigate. Also, hello, there's a handprint here. This is... Naruhodō-sama, look at this! This smear mark. It's obviously a handprint, isn't it? Not only that, but this color. It's obviously blood, isn't it? Oh, it's rather frightening to behold. Bulletin board. Case records of all the victims taken care of by the Grim Reaper are hanging on it. There's a bloody handprint on the backside. Alright, now that we got that information, we're going to... Okay, good. I'm just like making sure there's not like a second bulletin board I need to present. Let's present it! So you smeared your bloody hand on the floor at the crime scene. You're sure about that?
No, I mean, what choice did I have?
The police examined the floor at the crime scene, but they discovered no bloody handprints. The defense's claim is...
The defense hasn't made its claim yet, Asogi. Yeah, calm down, take a seat. Holy crap. It's true that there was no bloody handprint. Not on the floor, anyway.
What do you mean, not on the floor?
There was one clear bloody handprint left at the crime scene. On the back of this bulletin board. Oh hey, that pose looks awfully familiar to another certain defense attorney. Anyway.
You're right. There's a bloody handprint here.
I'll say, that's most definitely My beloved right hand!
This witness clearly testified that he touched the floor. The blood on the bulletin board has nothing to do with this case.
Suppose this bulletin board had been tipped over on the floor. If that were the case, then it would have been impossible for him to have left his handprint there.
In that case, you'd best take a look at this diagram of the crime scene. The bulletin board was standing near the door. I received no information about it having been tipped over. Besides, let's say for the sake of argument that it had tipped over. It would have been quite a ways from where the body was lying.
When I found the body, my legs gave out on me right then and there, see? So the location of all this was somewhere that made me feel like, blimey, there's a dead body right in front of me.
Which means that there's a contradiction in the defense's claim.
Exactly.
Nani?
The situation at the crime scene doesn't add up. There must be some reason for that.
It appears the defense has something in mind. Regarding the contradiction, as to the bloody handprint the witness supposedly left behind.
Yes, Your Honor. The bloody handprint, the bulletin board, and the floor at the crime scene. The answer that clears up all these contradictions is, there's another bloody handprint somewhere else, the bulletin board was moved, there's a lie in the testimony. The bulletin board was moved. Would also explain why Van Zieks didn't see the candles. This handprint on the bulletin board, that in and of itself is contradictory. The position of the handprint compared to how the hand that placed it there should have been is upside down.
Ah, you're right. If he touched his hand on the board while it was upright, then the finger should be pointing upwards.
What does this mean?
There's only one explanation. When this handprint was placed, the bulletin board was tipped over. In other words, after the murder, the bulletin board was moved.
What? If someone moved the bulletin board after the murder, who was it then?
I don't know yet, but if you think about all the testimony we've heard so far, one thing becomes clear.
And what might that be?
The location of the bulletin board at the time of the murder.
In that case, the court asks that the defense point it out. Where was the bulletin board at the time of the murder?
Probably on this side. It could only have been right here.
Right next to the door on the other side?
Please recall the testimony the previous witness gave. He said that when he entered the room, it was dim, and he couldn't see the body.
Ah! So that's it!
If the bulletin board had been here, then it would have hidden the body from view. It also would have blocked out the light from the candle holder at the back of the room and caused the room to look dim.
But the defendant said that the body suddenly appeared before him.
Yes. To be precise, he testified the following. When I picked up the pistol, the door burst open violently, and I heard a man scream. The next thing I knew, Detective Gregson's body was lying before me.
I'm not sure I care for the use of the word scream, but I suppose he was talking about me. I was the one who kicked the door open after all.
Now, Please take another look at this diagram. If the room had been arranged like this, what would have happened if the door had burst open violently?
That's...
The door hit the bulletin board and tipped it over, revealing the hidden body.
My god!
Lord Van Zieks hasn't told a single lie. He only testified about what he saw, exactly as he saw it. Ooh, that damage!
Order! Order!
So that means, also, I want to take a note about Asogi's damage animation. He's going for his face, which makes me think that he's like going for the mask that isn't there, which is, I think that's why that damage animation is the way it is that he's going for the mask that isn't there anymore. It's kind of creepy. Anyway, order!
So that means...
After the murder, someone must have moved the bulletin board to the location that we and the police saw it in.
Well, witnesses!
What? You're looking at us?
You were the first ones to arrive at the crime scene. It stands to reason that you must know something about that bulletin board.
The court requests further testimony. By which I obviously mean about your actions at the crime scene.
Oh, all right already. You don't have to glare at us.
Okay, we're gonna cut this short, and instead of like going right into the next testimony, we got about 3 minutes left before like time's up and everything, but better to just hold off for the next testimony for the next video. So, I will see you guys then.
Alright, Naruhodō, I'm just gonna be honest with you. I couldn't pay these people at all because I lost a poker game last night, so, I'm gonna need you to cover for me.